Thank you, Jason David Frank.
And Mr. Saban.
And thank you for liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing.
And don't forget to ring the bell so you get notified when we upload new content.
That's Tom.
And that's Chris. Decca. What do we got on deck for today?
Get ready to do some scheming because on today's episode of PRNT, we rank our favorite villain Lairs.
We're going to the dark side. So stay tuned.
It's PRNT time.
After 10,000 years, I'm free! It's time to watch PRNT!
Welcome, Rangers!
To this episode of
PRNT,
your source for all things
Power Rangers.
As we heard in the opener, it's time for another countdown list.
For this countdown, we are going to the dark side and ranking our top 5 villain Lairs from the Power Rangers universe.
We also have an honorable mention as well, so stay tuned for that.
Normally, we tell you the criteria for our ranking system, like functionality or something.
Yeah, but for this one, we're just going with our favorites, so why not? All right, let's get this countdown started with our number 5 villain, Lair. I'm going to say Lair. I like Lair better than Base. Base sounds, I don't know, kind of...
It's more dramatic.
Juvenile-ish. Yeah, Lair is good and strong. So our number 5 villain, Lair, is going to be the Venjix Palace from RPM.
This is one of those Lairs that reflected the power of the villain and definitely helped legitimize them.
Right. Yeah. Right. The overall goal of the Venjix virus was to completely, destroy the Earth to make all the humans go extinct, and this Lair definitely reflects that.
The countless smokestacks following mounds of pollution, the labs that turn humans into Venjix cyborgs.
Yeah, I mean, not to mention the countless grinders this place produces, all put huge dents in the hope of humans ever being able to survive on Earth.
Right. Like we said, this base or Lair is just a menacing force for the Venjix virus, and it's one that definitely earns a spot on this list.
Can you imagine walking around in all this thing and just seeing this palace zoom up? I mean, it's. I'm sure you can see it. It would definitely scare me, and it really helps spread the evilness of the Venjix virus. Moving on now to our number 4 Lair.
The Cryo prison from Time Force.
Right. Yes.
Which, by the way, is our only spaceship-themed Lair on our list.
Right. Even though it is a spaceship, it does work pretty well as a Lair. Yeah.
It's pretty spacious, although it definitely looks bigger on the inside than on the outside.
Right, one of those weird kind of things. It must be the year 3000 technology. Yeah.
It also has the ability to time travel,
which would be great if it wasn't wrecked when it was brought to the year, to present day. Yeah.
Okay, but I know you could keep bouncing around time trying to stay ahead of the Rangers chasing after you.
Right, yeah, true, I guess. But for me, the best part about this Lair is it has its own fully stocked army that can fit in just a few closets. And you don't have to travel with them, and you didn't have to really hire any of them either, right?
Yeah, that's because this Lair is actually a prison of the Time Force Police Squad, and that's where they stash the monsters.
Yeah, not only that, they cryogenetically froze them, okay, which also shrunk them down, so hundreds of monsters could fit in these little filing cabinets very easily. Yeah.
Rancid clearly knew what he was doing when he stole this spaceship prison and took it back in time. A great functional Lair.
Yeah, although I think he got more lucky than anything else. Yeah. Okay. Time now for our number 3 favorite Lair.
Rita and Zedd's RV from Power Rangers Zeo.
What? Come on.
All right. we know what you guys are thinking.
Yeah, and are you guys crazy? This isn't a lair. It's just some stupid camper that Rita and Zedd drive around the moon.
And you're right. But remember, we said there was no criteria for our countdown, and this lair, plain simple, just makes us laugh.
Yeah.
And when we think about it, why not just put it on our list?
Right. I mean, can you imagine what it would be like, in this tiny little RV riding around the moon with Rita, Zedd, Babu, Squat, and Finster?
It's one of those things that suck for the people involved, but it's absolutely hilarious for those on the outside. And that's why it made our list.
I know. I chuckled a lot, yeah.
I mean, think about it. How did that RV even get on the moon?
I don't know. Maybe maybe it was a product of some country's early space program or something. Let's shoot this RV up in the air.
We are shooting cars into space.
We are shooting cars, yes. Thank you, Elon Musk. Yes. Okay. So maybe an RV. Anyways, moving on now, our number 2 lair is one of my personal favorites. It would be
Mesagog's Island Fortress from Dino Thunder.
Fortress, even a nice, strong word. Yeah.
How awesome is this lair? Built from the remains of Anton Mercer's lab, this lair would make any evil scientist feel right at home.
Yeah, this lair is super high tech with the geno randomizer, the life force extractor, the closed circuit television that allows you to see whatever you want on Earth, the gyroscope of doom, so all these things would just make any evil villain cackle with laughter, which, now that we think about it, is something Mesagog never really did he?
No, he was internally evil. Yeah. Anyway, combine the high-tech gadgets with the fact that this lair is on a dark, secluded island, and the main color scheme is black, makes this a great creepy lair for arguably one of the best villains of all time.
Oh yeah. Love Mesagog as a villain, yeah. Before we get to our number 1, though, we are going to talk about our 1 honorable mention.
That's right. When making this list, we were able to get it down to 6, but we just couldn't eliminate one, so we made this next lair our honorable mention.
Right, yeah. And that honorable mention is
Vrak's lab from Megaforce, Super Megaforce.
Yes, very cool. I was impressed by this, yeah.
This lair is cool, mostly because it resembles a large Doom city under the water.
Yeah, and besides that, Vrak was actually able to do some pretty cool and, although evil, still amazing things there, yeah.
Using his super high-tech robotic building abilities, he was able to create Metal Alice, as well as many other robots that gave the Rangers a hard time through the seasons.
Right, and this time, the technology in this lab was so good that when Rex was very injured, Metal Alice was able to create a hybrid from the robotic parts. So this lair was not only functional, but also very powerful.
This lair also had high-tech viewing screens to keep tabs topside, as well as another life force extractor, which Vrak used to try to drain Orion's powers.
Right. This lair was functional, it was useful, and it's a great addition to our list, and it's why we really couldn't eliminate it. Yeah.
All right. Now, for our number 1 all-time favorite villain lair.
The
Moon Palace from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Right. You have to admit, Rita and Zedd may have been incompetent villains, but they sure do know how to live in style.
Just the sheer look of this lair is enough to put it on our list. But it has so much more to offer besides that.
Yeah, between the large, observation balconies, a killer throne room, an elaborate laboratory for Finster to make monsters in.
Dungeons to keep prisoners in, and rooms holding many other dimensions. This lair was luxurious and functional and looked awesome.
Plus, it was on the moon, which made it far enough away for any, little side attack from the Rangers that they might have randomly decided to do, but it's too far away, so they couldn't do that. Yeah.
And as an added bonus, you get awesome views every morning. Peace and quiet when you need it, and if you ever wanted to weigh yourself, you would weigh 1/6 of your weight from Earth.
Right, yeah, because the moon is 1/6 of the gravity of Earth, right. So it would change, how much you weighed. Yeah. So the question is, when they put it for sale, why didn't we call it?
I know, right?
Yeah. We should have been like, oh, yeah, we'll take it. Yeah. Getting there, maybe we could have hitched a ride from Elon. Yeah. Anyways, this concludes our list. If you agree with us, or if you disagree, maybe you had one that you think should have been, or one that should not have been, that we put on there, be sure to either A, leave us a comment below, or message us on any of our social media.
That's right. Thank you guys so much again for liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing.
And don't forget to ring the bell so you're notified when we upload new content. And remember, as we sign off, our hope is that the power will always protect you.
Let's power down.
Hey Rangers, thanks for checking out this episode.
If you want to see more, be sure to click the link to the left to see our most popular video.
Check out the link on the right to see our most recent upload.
And aim for that button in the center to subscribe if you haven't already.
And if you still want more, be sure to check out our social media pages where we post all sorts of things to be your source for all things Power Rangers.